I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't Night Riders. Nah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, crazy subject today, man. Your boy Myron Gaines, which happens to be the Fresh and Fit podcast co-host, he's being dragged all over social media for making racist remarks towards black women in an old clip of one of their episodes, and it resurfaced after Asian Doll walked off this show after she reportedly been shushed. Now, it sounds like a minor thing. However, he's been accused of doing that a lot on that podcast, where women says he thinks he could talk to them however he wants and always tell them to shut up with disrespect. And I get it. Sometimes it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And some women isn't going to take being told to shut up or be talked to in any way. Now, that seems to be the case with him and Asian Doll in their recent episode. And it seems like while she was there, her and the co-host exchanged some words and tension began to brew while they were filming. Now, some things were said from both sides, which led to her walking out. Then he proceeded to say, quote, he don't even know who she is, so he doesn't care. He was just blatantly being disrespectful. And my thing is this: if you didn't know who she was, why is she on your show? You know, why is she on your podcast? And honestly, that whole podcast is surrounded by clickbait and foolish antics, where I almost think these guys purposely do things like this for shock value. However, one thing led to another, and after catching backlash for the way he was towards Asian Doll, someone went back to one of their old episodes where they had some very disgusting and, to me, racist remarks towards black women. Alright, so what they're trying to say is pretty much the reason why he treated Asian Doll the way he did was because he has pretty much no respect for black women. And he's trying to run with the narrative that Asian Doll said this and that, but honestly, to her defense, she really didn't get that crazy until he started trying to talk over and bogart the whole interview, and he was being a little he was being tacky about it, you know. And his reason for how he responded was simply because she called him mean. Now, this man's supposed to be a life coach, a fitness coach, and all that, and for someone calling you mean, for you to go crazy and say the things, you know, go overboard like that, that tells me you have no discipline. How are you supposed to teach people how to handle their life situations, and you're going overboard because somebody called you mean? Alright, now, pretty much in the clip that resurfaced with him speaking foul about black women, he said, and I quote, which is kind of crazy, so be prepared, y'all. He said, quote, what about the black dating app called Black? And then his partner said he never used that app. And then he proceeded to say, quote, hey man, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it. Then the black host ad-libbed saying LaQuisha. Then Myron proceeded to say, quote, me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. We aren't Night Riders. Alright, sometimes if they are red bone in general, but me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, listen, right? Even if you don't like black women, because the reality of it is that everyone has a preference. Whether you prefer black, white, Asian, Spanish, Middle Eastern, whatever. You don't have to bash the next culture just to get your point across. You know, in fact, you could say nothing at all. And I don't think he understands how much those statements say about him as a person and that whole environment, that, you know, the podcasting. Because my thing is this: if you're willing to say that publicly like that, what do you guys say in the privacy of, you know, when nobody's around? You know, how do you truly feel? Do you just feel like that about black women? What do you feel about black men? You see what I'm saying? And the sad part about it is the co-host that actually made the comment, he goes by the name Myron Gaines, but his real name is Amru Fudl, Fudl. And that's another thing. He's been that's been another controversial thing about him as well, because everybody's saying that he's not being honest about who he truly is. He has 2 different names. Nobody really know anything about him, and he's trying to keep it like that. And he's not black himself. His ethnicity is actually unclear, and Google has him down as American. But for obvious reasons, I'm sure he's not full American or black. However you want to, word it. Because anyway, one thing I can say, he's not to be trusted in the first place. You never trust somebody that has 2 names. You see what I'm saying? How you can listen, you can never trust somebody that got 2 names. I don't care what you say. Anyway, in fact, he has a post on his Instagram that says, quote, death threats every day, 6 TikToks and 5 IG accounts banned, haters exposing my real name /info, fall down 5, get up 6, or be carried by 6. You decide. So clearly this is what he does. He loves controversy and he tries to use it as his benefit. Like it's part of his character. You see what I'm saying? He tries to make it seem like he's overcoming, like I said, this life coach that's just overcome so much. And aside from the Fresh and Fit podcast, he's actually known as an elite life coach as well as a fitness trainer. Now, aside from this incident, he himself has been involved in many controversies, with one of them involving sexual harassment, where he allegedly forced an OnlyFans woman by the name of Miss Cheeks to have an abortion. Now, during their back and forth dispute over social media, Miss Cheeks also expressed that he emotionally manipulates women with his sweet talks and then sexually abuses them. Strong claims, man. Hey, I gotta remember, this is the same guy whose slogan pertaining to what he does, like the life coach and everything, his slogan was, quote, I transform simps to pimps. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what women personally he's getting, but I can see why he may not like black women, because ain't no black woman I know is letting that weird looking gerbil talk to him however he want to talk. You see what I'm saying? And we see this a lot as well. Men who are not strong enough or able to get a black woman, they love to talk down on them. And sometimes it's not even the fact that they hate them. They just don't have enough charisma, enough confidence to even be able to pull a black woman. They intimidated by a black woman. And to any of his clients that are black women or even males, if y'all using him as a life coach or a fitness trainer, guess what? This is what he truly thinks of you. For any subscribers that are black females, this is what he thinks of you. For any black female going up to that podcast, guess what? This is what he thinks of you. And let's be real. How is this man sitting here giving out dating advice, man? Who's taking dating advice from him? How is he giving out life advice? What did he go through? What have he been through in life that makes him qualified to sit there and be a life coach to help other people with their life problems? And in fact, he looked like he actually been bullied all his life. Come on, man. Now, I refuse to let someone like him disrespect our culture and think he can get away with it. And his co-host, the guy that's actually black, he should be ashamed of himself. Once again, everyone has a preference. Cool. But as a black man, even if you call yourself not preferring black women, how can you sit there and allow someone is of different ethnicity to disrespect black women in your face? And then the next question is, why did he feel so comfortable? You see what I'm saying? Clearly, it wasn't his first time saying this. So whether his partner said anything or not, sometimes silence is an answer. And you become just as guilty because you didn't check him. And they try to dress their podcast up by calling it the #1 podcast for men. No. You don't speak for us men. Then he looks small, so he only half of a man. He's not even a whole man. But all jokes aside, y'all, see, this man Myron, or whatever his name is, his TikTok was actually banned over him having content that deemed sexist and misogynistic. So him disrespecting women is nothing new. And in fact, recently when DJ Academics was on their show and one of the girls allegedly pulled out a gun on them, she was saying the same thing. She said they were being very unprofessional towards the women, saying whatever they wanted and telling them to shut up, and she just wasn't having it. Now, I didn't know this man's past at the time when that altercation happened, but they tried to make it seem like she was crazy. But now finding out this man's history, it makes me wonder, was she really crazy or was she right? And maybe this is why he don't like black women, because they're not going to let you play with them. They're not going to let you think you're going to say whatever, especially someone that looks like him. You're just not going to be able to do it, man. But all jokes aside, y'all, that podcast is a clear example of what we try to stay away from. Their way of getting views and subscribers and notoriety isn't the way to go. You can have a channel grown organically. You don't need the controversy to exceed. And by that, I mean, when people say things, no one's going to spark controversy just for clickbait, or when people purposely say something against popular opinion just to spark controversy, or when someone beefs with another blogger just for attention. These are tactics that may work temporarily. However, in the end, it always catches up to you and come back to haunt you, like we see here. All right. Now, as far as that podcast, I never watch it. I always catch clips whenever they're in situations like this, because it's always ending up on one of these blogs. And to be honest with you, I think they purposely do this. I think they purposely get into these type of quarrels or whatever the case may be and say things just for shock value so they can end up on blogs. Some people believe that any publicity is good publicity. You know, and the unfortunate part is that they actually have an audience. And I never tell anyone how to run their channel, because if they have an audience, then it's clear that their content is actually appealing to somebody. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, somebody is tuning in. But it's really disgusting seeing these two dudes sit up there and go out like that. You see what I'm saying? Then I sit and wonder, what if he said that about a Jewish person? You know, if he said that about a Jewish person, that channel would have been canceled by now. So why do people always think they could play with our culture? This has nothing to do with Asian Doll at this point either. More so the fact that he thought he could say what he wanted to say. He said Knight Rider and Down with the Brown. Come on. I didn't even know of those stereotypes or remarks until I heard him say it. But that says a lot, man. If y'all ever watch their podcast, let me know if you're going to continue to watch it. Let me know how you feel in the comments about this. Like I said, I never seen this clip. This is why I'm doing the video on it. And not to mention, they got a lot of controversy behind them. So I had to do this video, man, because I don't know, man. It's just weird. So y'all let me know y'all from the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.